Today's topic is working with emails, receiving as well as sending emails. Generally, most applications have a requirement to send alerts to the users or just send messages, either if there's a scheduled report or some event has happened or something you want to notify the users. So there is a need to send email. So a ZOAPIIO container comes with an SMTP server included, which shows here as emailer. And you can use this to send emails. Now, as far as receiving emails is concerned, of course, this there is no pre-configured account because it has to be something that you will provide. Which email address you want to receive mails on, what is the type, username, password. So, if you need to have a feature in your application which requires popping emails automatically and handling them, you must write to your system administrator and get that email configured. So I'll show you how to handle that as well here. So if you do right click on business flows, you will see something here called entry point email. So entry point email works like any other service. It's like it's something which is invoked when an email arrives. Okay, so it's like a service, and you handle it pretty much the same way you handle any other service, with some differences. I'll so let's complete this discussion first, and I'll come back to sending emails in a minute. So here, email endpoint is something that if it is configured in your container, on my container, I have a few email accounts which I am listening to, which can be IMAP or POP. Both are possible. And generally, we select a logger, and you can activate, deactivate without actually deleting it. So let's say is active is true, and I do a save. So this becomes a service, and I can program it like any other service that we program. But there is a difference here. When an email arrives, it is received through Java Mail X package, which is a Java library. You can go and read it up. Plenty of documentation is available, and this is not abstracted in the business rules here. It's really the composition of an email message is quite complex because it can have attachments and it can have headers and various things which is not possible to abstract. So you have to have a Java method if you want to process emails. So let's say I will just call it email receiver. Okay. So actual receiving of the email has to be done inside a Java method. So here what I can do is, as soon as this function is launched, oops, yeah, I can invoke a method, email receiver. So this is the first thing I can do. When this method gets called, here, the first thing I will do is I will receive the message. And the way that is done is I'm writing it out here, I'm copying, pasting. This is also explained in the Java documentation, in the documentation of Web IDE. The get email message is the Java function you need to call to retrieve the message. And you can pass any node from the schema, right? Any node in the schema you can pass, and whichever email message was received when the service was invoked, it will be returned. And it will be returned in an object called my message. This is a standard message that Java MailX package uses. So once you receive the message, then here on all the scanning, parsing, and traversing the email message has to be in Java, right? And you need to know how that library works. So if you do it, read up on it, and you can write all that code. So typically what you would do is when the email receiver receives the message here and scans, parses, extracts, it can see who sent it, when, and all the details. And whatever information you need to extract, including the attachments or whatever, you can extract from the message and populate the schema somewhere. So you can, for example, under variables, you can create a tag which says email data and put all the stuff under email data, whatever you're extracting. So this receiver message is going to go through the message, extract whatever is required, and populate this. And then we go back to our handler here. So hereafter, you can write your code like you using the business logic, using the logic builder, and everything you wanted from the email message is already extracted here. And then you can proceed like you normally do. If you need to create some database records, you can do that. If you want to initiate some other process, you can do that. If you need to reply to the original sender, send them email, you can do that. So let's come back to how we send an email. So for sending an email, emailer is already available. It's there in your instance by default. And if you need to configure your own SMTP account, you can write to the system administrator. They will do it for you. And so the easiest way to process sending of an email is just take this and drag and drop it here. And you get this entire code that you require to be able to send a message. So first is we do a clear. If there was anything contained in the emailer earlier, we just clear it. Then we populate these fields. Emailer underscore to, this will be the email address where you want to send it. It can be a comma separated list. Similarly, CC can be a comma separated list of emails. BCC, again, the subject, the message text, and the message content type. It can be text HTML, text plain, whatever. So this is how you compose an outgoing email message. Just populate these fields for the emailer. Now, if you want to add attachments, you can add attachments, and you have to provide the base 64 encoded data that you want to add to the attachment. You can give the content type of the attachment and the file name of the attachment. So this is how you attach a binary file. If you want to attach text file, you can attach a text file. Here you will provide a path of a node which contains the text, not the base 64 encoded text, plain text. And the same fields appear here. And if your email doesn't have any attachment, you can just simply delete this. You don't care. And then just do a send of the emailer. It's as simple as that. So this will send out a message as per your specifications. So to summarize, we treat the functionality of automatically reading email messages and processing them like we handle other web services. With a little twist, which I explained, is that you have to write Java code to be able to go inside the message and extract the contents. And to send the email is simple. Emailer is provided, and you can, if you want, you can have them configured as per your request, and that's it. So it's quite simple. That's all you need to know about handling emails.